Well, good morning and welcome back to another edition of Backcountry Trails. In this episode, I'm taking a trip out toward Ranchita, California. And if you don't know where Ranchita is, it's basically a small, tiny little town just outside the border of Anza Borrego Desert State Park. And I guess eastern San Diego County. There's a hike I've been wanting to do for a while. I've seen it on all trails, and it's got some problems associated with it. It's called Chimney Rock, and the Chimney benchmark and Bonny benchmark. And from what I've been looking at on all trails, no one's been there in about 4 years. There's only about 8 or 9 reviews total, and there's no trail, there's no signs, there's no cairns. There's really nothing. All there is something that's on the map called Chimney Rock. I've been wanting to see it for a while, and I thought, well, this will definitely be an off-trail scramble for sure. And the weather was holding up good, and it was going to be a little chilly that day, and I thought, this is the perfect time to go out to Anza Borrego, or right on the border of Anza Borrego, and take a trip out to see this famous, sort of famous, I guess, rock feature. But anyway, so that's what this edition is going to be about. But the one thing I wanted to tell you real quick, I got a message posted by one of my friends I've known for forever, ever since high school. Back in the day, I had a friend named Danny Pulver, and he was a friend with me and Tim. And I just found out that Danny passed away this last week, which is sad for everybody. But I just want to tell you a little bit about Danny. I'll give you a minute or two about Danny. Danny was a real big kid, strong as an ox. And his dad owned a landscaping firm. And a lot of times when Danny was in high school, Danny didn't go to school. Danny would stay with his dad, and he would help with his landscaping business. He had a commercial landscaping business. And so Danny wasn't in school a lot. He was missing quite a bit. So one of the days after school, we decided to go by and see if we could find Danny and pick him up and go spend the day with him, so he would get away from being around his dad, who was abusive. So we went by this landscaping job that they were doing, and we always kind of wondered, how did Danny get so damn big? He's real big, broad shouldered, real strong guy. He never lifted, never played sports, but he was always huge. Well, we go by the commercial landscaping spot, and those big giant wooden crates with the big trees that are in them. I don't know how much those weigh, 200 pounds, 300 pounds, I don't know. But we look over and we see Danny's dad, and Danny's dad is yelling at him, going, "Danny, get over here, bring that over here right now." And Danny is running with this 250-pound crated tree, and he runs over and drops it down. It runs over and gets another one. So he'd been doing this all day. So now we know how Danny got to be that size. So anyway, Danny decided to go with us. And in those days, I had a 1970, my very first vehicle, my very first car was a 1972 Chevy Love truck, and they're really hideously ugly. And mine was like a canary yellow color, and I painted it like a tan because I thought I couldn't drive around with that canary yellow color. And Danny hopped in the back, so we're heading home, and we get to this corner in my neighborhood, and there was water in the little dip, and I decided, at that age when you're 16, you're trying to show off for your friends. So I stomped on it, and I hit that puddle hard, and I spun the wheel, and I did a little fishtail on the corner, and I forgot Danny was in the back of the open bed of the pickup truck. Well, I heard this slide and then a thump, and Danny went flying out of the back of my pickup truck. He must have landed 20, 30 feet away in somebody's lawn, did a somersault, ended up on somebody's lawn. And I thought I had killed poor Danny. And so me and Tim pulled over, and Danny's yelling at me, and Danny's running back to the truck. And I was afraid to open the door. I was afraid I was going to get my ass kicked. Well, anyway, so that was one of my fond memories of Danny. And Danny had problems with weight and diabetes, and eventually it took its toll. And so we lost one of our friends. I wasn't a real close friend of Danny's. It's, over the years, we've kind of, over many years, I didn't really talk to Danny. I lost touch with Danny, but in the back of my mind, I still think there were good times we had when we were in high school. So anyway, so that's my little piece about Danny Pulver. But Godspeed to Danny, and something to think about. When you get to my age, you start losing friends, and you need to make time to reach out and talk to those people you haven't talked to in a while, and hang out with them. And there's more important things than work and money. You need to contact your friends, your family, your loved ones, and spend time with them, because you never know. This is like the third person I've known in the last 4 or 5 years that have died that were younger than me. So anyway, not to bring a dark cloud on the video, but anyway, so we're gonna head out to Chimney Rock. This is Chimney Rock right here in the background. I think the mic's in the way, but that's Chimney Rock. And it was a great day. The weather was perfect. It was kind of chilly for being in the desert, but it was a great hike. So anyway, stick around. Follow me up the non-trail up to the Chimney Rock and toward the Bonny benchmark out here in Anza Borrego Desert State Park. That'll all be coming up next. Well, as I'm heading past the Vail Lake Resort, we're back in the construction work. I'm heading out east today to go do a hike, and once again, I'm stuck in construction traffic. But as luck would have it, I timed it just right, and the pilot car is in front of me. It's a fancy-looking chippy car. Anyway, so it looks like I made it through at least this one. I don't know if there's any more. Last time there were more, so we'll see. Well, while I've been sitting here for damn near 30 minutes for this traffic, I did see a coyote out in the field. Let's see if I can find him. He's a little ways out there, but he's walking across the field. So who knows how long this traffic will go. I've never sat here this long. It's been like 30 minutes, and the cars are still coming from the other direction. This is the worst maintained traffic control I've ever seen. Well, I've arrived at Montezuma Valley Road off of San Felipe Road, which I believe is S2. This turns into S22, and I'm going to be heading down toward Ranchita. And just past Ranchita is going to be the pull-off area for my hike today. It's going to be interesting because there isn't a trail, so we'll see how this goes. The marine layer has been really heavy the last several days, and even this far inland, it's still overcast. I'm sure the sun will come out later, but right now we're still socked in pretty heavy cloud layer, which is actually going to make for great conditions for a hike, I think. All right, well, I had to pull over off the side of the road here, just past Ranchita, because I can't seem to find the parking area. I have a feeling that it's up here, just because I see a chain link, or I see a barbed wire fence, and my guess that's where the private property ends and the state park section starts. So I noticed this earlier as I drove past. This is the Welcome to Anza Borrego Desert State Park sign right here. So this is the actual state park. I do have it on the GPS as well. So it should be just a little ways up the road here. I didn't see the Jasper Trail parking area, or the turnoff for Jasper Trail. I thought I would have seen it, because I know I've seen it before. There is a pull out here on the left. This might be Chimney Rock Road. There is a ranch up here to the left, so this could very well be Chimney. It's not marked, so it's kind of hard to tell. Now this is the top of the hill right here. Everything from here on over is downhill, steeply downhill. So I have a feeling that this pull-off area right here is most likely the beginning of the trail, but I'm not sure. Obviously there's no signs, so I'll go down here to this next turnaround and turn around and head back. You can see Chimney Rock from the road, further up the road, so we'll see if I see anything else. There's a, you know what, I think that's the Jasper Trail right there. You know what, I want to turn around and go down that road right there. I think that's the Jasper Trail. Now let's see if I can do that from this greatest spot to turn around because you don't have a real good clear field of vision, but I think we'll be okay. There's nobody coming. I don't know why I didn't see this earlier. Jasper Trail is one of the easier 4x4 trail sections. I'm going to go down the Jasper Trail here just a little ways just to see what this looks like. I'm trying to find a spot that's a little out of the way to park because I'm a little worried about leaving my car unattended right alongside the highway. Yeah, this actually says Jasper Trail. Maybe I can park right here. You know what? This might not be too bad a spot to park. I can just walk up the road to the beginning of my trail. There's a sign here. Don't know what that says, but you know what? I think I am going to park right up here at the Jasper Trailhead parking area. I think this is going to do it. I'll set up my trail cam here to keep an eye on the vehicle anyway, but I'm going to check my GPS once I get out of the car and see how far it is to my start of the hike today. This ought to be interesting. Well, good morning and welcome back out to another edition of Backcountry Trails. Today I'm in the backcountry for sure. I'm in inside the border of Anza Borrego Desert State Park. And I just pulled off the highway onto the Jasper Trail just to kind of get my vehicle tucked out of the way of the highway traffic. There's a lot of traffic going up and down the road, and I kind of don't want people to see my vehicle because it's in a spot that would lend itself likely to vehicle burglary. So I'm definitely going to make sure that I have my trail cam set up, so hopefully nobody will see it. And but I can tell right now it's pretty visible, so I might have to move the location. But anyway, today I'm going to be heading up to try to find me a couple of interesting locations. One's called the Bonny benchmark, and the other one is called the Chimney benchmark. And there is no trail; it's off trail. And according to All Trails, the last person that was up there actually went to the summit in 2021. So it's been 4 years since somebody has seen the benchmark. So we'll see if I can get there today. It's all off-trail navigation. I do have waypoints and a route on my GPS and on my Garmin inReach, so we'll see what happens. And it's funny, I didn't think I'd see anybody here, and as soon as I pulled in and started unloading, this guy pulled up in this Mazda and parked right across from me. He's hiking a different section. He's going to be taking part of the California Hiking and Riding Trail, and he disappeared. I don't even know where that even goes. Maybe it goes behind me down Jasper Trail, I don't know. But anyway, wish me luck. We'll see how far I get before I freeze to death or get stuck by cactus. Anyway, that'll all be coming up next in this edition of Backcountry Trails. My hike up to see the Bonny benchmark, and if I'm lucky, Chimney Rock and the Chimney benchmark. That'll all be coming up next. Stick around. All right, well, I've had a hike up to the top of the grade here. There's a big rock right here, and according to what I can gather, the area I'm going is up that direction right there. There is a ranch. I see a sign and what looks like a windsock. There's also a small little windmill. And, that's my indication that that's Chimney Rock Ranch. So I'm going to be working my way up to the right, and in fact, I can see the second pointy peak off in the distance. I have a feeling that's probably the Bonny benchmark. Anyway, I got to check my GPS to make sure I'm right. The barbed wire fence kind of makes a turn right there, so I think everything on that side of the barbed wire fence is Anza Borrego Desert State Park. Everything on that side is private property, so I do have to keep an eye out for the private property. And of course, obviously, today I got to worry about snakes and right now vehicles, because this is one of the major access points from uphill down the grade to Borrego Springs in Anza Borrego Desert State Park. So anyway, I'm going to be crossing the road, starting up the trail.
Well, as you can tell, the highway's right behind me, and I'm just now starting up the road. Hopefully I'll see a little wildflowers today. I don't really know. I have seen one yucca in bloom, so maybe that's a good start. And anyway, I'm going to have to really keep a close eye on the All Trails map today because I'm not seeing any footprints. And whatever there was, I'm sure have washed away by now over the years. Heading up that direction. All right, well, this is from the, you can see how far I've gone. There's the highway right there. This is from the first, it's about ready to blow me off this rock right here. There's Chimney Rock Ranch. Can't even hold the camera still. Anyway, you can see where I'm headed. I think that over there is probably the Bonny benchmark. As I'm working my way to the east, that's Borrego Springs way off in the distance, and there's S22, my road. In fact, you can see my vehicle parked way down there on the right. So this is what I got to go. Still, I don't get blown off the top of this rock. All right, well, I've gone a little ways, maybe a half mile, I guess. Cross country, went up to the top of that little sub peak where I got almost blown off that top rock. But this is where I'm headed. I'm heading generally this direction. There's two peaks. There's a peak there, the peak there. There's also a peak in the back. I don't know. I have a feeling that that peak off in the distance might be Bonny benchmark. Looks like I got a long way to go. So far, I'm on my All Trails route. If you can see on there where I'm at, a little blue dot. Sometimes the glare is pretty bad, but I'm generally on it. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see if I can follow my All Trails route and see if I can make the top without getting stuck by a cactus. I already got one in the knee. I didn't see it. Anyway, gotta keep an eye on this map for sure. Now earlier when I was driving up here, right before I got to my parking area, a deer ran across the road. And there are some deer droppings, some deer scat right there. As I'm heading up that direction. You know, as I'm working my way, as I'm navigating this off-trail section, there's more deer scat, and I'm seeing prints. I'm assuming they're deer prints. But occasionally it looks almost like a human tread from a shoe, but they're so old I really can't tell, and you can see spots where a person would most likely walk, and that's where I'm seeing them. But also animals, deer, mountain lion, fox, and bobcat, they all also take the path of least resistance. So could be several things. Maybe when we get to a spot with a really good image, I'll show you. I climbed over a small sub-peak, dropped down into this valley. I'm right on the track. And it looks like up here is the top. This could very well be the Bonny benchmark. I'm not 100% positive. But on the All Trails map, it's showing Chimney Rock. Not the benchmark, but the rock to my left. So I'm heading the right direction. So we'll see. I got to figure out a way to get through this thick brush. Hopefully there's a path. Maybe I'll take a short little break when I get up there. I could use it. Well, my All Trails route has me going to the right, but I can't pass this peak without making an effort to get up here to see what's up here. It doesn't look too easy, but it's doable. I think I might be able to find a way around it and get up to the top. Boy, you got a great view from up here. This boulder's loose. Great view of Anza Borrego, all of Palomar. Well, I worked my way up a little closer to the Bonny benchmark, and it's a cool little recess. Be a great spot for a snake. I don't see any though. I'm gonna keep looking. All right, here's some more pretty interesting spots. That one looks like it goes all the way through the other side. Should brought my flashlight. I have a headlamp, but I wonder what's in there. Check out this interesting rock. Look at the pock marks on the rock right there. And looks like up inside there, something's been hanging out there. Maybe a bird, a raptor of some kind. And then ravens were flying right over the top of me a second ago. Well, this is the one place that doesn't have a 20-mile-an-hour breeze. What a great view from here. It's looking south. Working my way back toward the west. What a tremendous view from up here. And of course, you can see S-22, people working their way down. And then way up in the distance, you can see Borrego Springs. Well, I'm taking a break here in Anza Borrego, and there's a nice big boulder behind me. It blocks some of the wind. When I was coming up and I was on the top of those peaks, man, it was ripping. And it was cold. I had my jacket on and I needed it. But on this side, the wind is just a 5-10 mile an hour breeze, and the sun actually feels pretty nice. And this boulder's doing its job. There's some pencil cholla right next to me, and some magnificent boulders. But right to the left of me right here is a barbed wire fence. So that's where Anza Borrego is on this side and private properties on that side. So I was hoping to work my way to the left and work my way to the left of Chimney Rock over there, but looks like that's not going to happen. I can work my way through the valley a little bit. Maybe I can get a little closer, and I'm going to try to do that after I get some calories in me here. I didn't really bring a lunch today, so I brought this, it's called chocolate dough from Barbells. Actually got it on clearance at Walmart. How cheap is that, huh? It was normally like $2.90 a bar, and it was 70 cents. So I bought like 4 of them. They're actually really good. I was really surprised. I don't know how healthy they are, but it's like a candy bar basically. But I'm going to enjoy about 15 minutes here and cool off a little bit. Then I'm going to try to continue up valley, maybe another half mile to get a little better shot of Chimney Rock. I was bummed I couldn't get to the top of the Bonny benchmark. It's like you need rock climbing skills, and that's not something you would do when you're solo. Like I said, no one's been up here in 4 years, and I haven't seen any footprints that I can tell. And there's no trail, there's no sign, there's no waypoints, there's no cairns, there's nothing. So when you're out here, you're literally on your own. If you get lost or you get injured, no one's going to find you, unless you got a Garmin or something in inReach. So today's not the day to be taking chances, if you know what I mean. There's some clouds coming in, you can see. I'll show you from another angle. There's actually a chance of rain tomorrow and Friday, Thursday and Friday. Today's Wednesday. So maybe this is the leading edge. I'm not too tired. I am going to try to go a little further though. I've seen a couple of rabbits, and that's about it. A couple of lizards, no snakes. I saw one deer on the way in, driving on the way in. That's it. It's kind of pretty up here though. Well, I made it past the peak of the Bonny benchmark, and off in the distance, way off in the distance, up there, that is where the Chimney Rock benchmark lies. and I'm not going to get there today. But what I do have is a great view of Chimney Rock, which is right there. It looks better from the west looking to the east, but that's still a pretty good view from here. And I might be able to get a little bit closer, but when I crested this little rise, I looked over and I saw, there's a trail right there, like a vehicle track. If I could get on that, it looks like it goes all the way up there. And then from there, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump up to Chimney Rock. But then I noticed right down here, there's the barbed wire fence. So the state park must end down there, and that must be private property, so I'm out of luck. But I can work my way up valley a little bit, and that I might do after I take a break here and cool off. Might try to get a little better shot of Chimney Rock, but I'm definitely not getting to the Chimney benchmark. And the Bonny benchmark was, it was like class 3, class 4 rock climbing, and I'm not doing that solo out here in the middle of nowhere. So I'll just take a break here. It's been a good hike so far, and I'm gonna enjoy this sunny spot and get me some refreshments. I just have water. Well, I do have a beer. Take that back. Maybe I'll have my beer, and then I have some energy bars, so I'll do that too. Well, now that I've taken a short breather back there in the shade, got a little energy bar and caught up on my hydration, I'm going to see if I can work my way just a little closer to Chimney Rock. The barbed wire fence is right there, so can't go any further to the left. But I do have to pay attention because I have lots of cholla I have to pick my way through. There's some prickly pear as well. It's pretty big strands of cholla. Hopefully, as we get a little higher up, I'll be able to find a way through. Anyway, that right there behind me is Chimney Rock. Chimney Rock is evidently, according to the barbed wire fence, not technically inside Anza Borrego, but 30 feet on the other side, because in order to go on the other side of that rock outcrop there to get a different angle of Chimney Rock, I'd have to go across the barbed wire fence and into private property, and I'm not going to do that. So, but back this direction is the Chimney benchmark, and Borrego Springs is back this way. It's way back there. The wind's kicking up pretty good, so it's all pretty much in a dirt haze right now. And it's funny because you can totally see this direction. You might not be able to see it on the camera because it's too far away, but the marine layer is hovering like a cloud carpet covering the top of Palomar. It's gorgeous up here. It's a little bit of greenery. It hasn't all died yet. I'm sure when that heat kicks up, it'll all turn to straw, but as of right now, we've got a little bit of green. But I'm going to enjoy a few minutes here at the top of Chimney Rock, Anza Borrego Desert State Park. Well, I scrambled up to the top of this other peak, just a short distance away from Chimney Rock. And boy, it's windy up here. We have a tremendous view looking this direction toward Borrego Springs. Down in there, and Hell Hole Canyon is also down that way. Colt Valley, there's a nice campground down there. It's a free camp spot. I've also got Cleveland National Forest radio on. That's what you're hearing in the background. But I'll stay up here for a minute or two just to kind of cool down a little bit after that short little steep climb, and then I want to start working my way back toward the trail. I was taking my break over there at the other boulders. I got to go up, down into a valley, up and over a ridge, and then start working my way back down to the highway. And that heavy marine layer is actually moving this way, but you never know. By the time I get to the car, it might be in fog. Who knows? Anyway, I got to get going. It's windy up here. Well, I'm not too far from the car. That's that first peak I went to right when I got here. It's been a little thicker of a bushwhack down here, but not too bad. Like I said, I pretty much stuck to the All Trails route. The one part of it that went to the east side of Bonny was not as clear as the path that I made up on my own on the Wash on the west. So, something to think about if you're heading up. You're going to head up to Bonny. You might want to go left instead of right. And it did warm up quite a bit, but not really enough to take the jacket off. I mean, I'm sweating pretty good, but it's not that bad. I did take my jacket off for a little break. I'm going to have to negotiate some choias here. I can see the cars, not my car, but I can see cars going down the highway, so it tells you how close I am. But I must have veered a little off trail. Got to find my best route back. So far, I've only got stuck by 2 choias and there's nothing, embedded, so that's good. But anyway, getting there. Well, I made it back to the highway. I was able to go off trail and find a way through the cholla. And now I've got this, quarter, half mile trek along the highway to get back to the Jeep. There's not a lot of shoulder room, so I'm going to have to figure out my best way to avoid getting run over. But here comes a truck coming up this way. But like I said, I can see the top of the Jeep from here. Everybody's heading down to Anza Borrego. Got to be careful crossing this road, that's for sure. Well, I made it back to the Jeep. It ended up being 5.54 miles today. It's not too bad. And left my beer in the car in the ice chest. But the good thing is it's ice cold. This is a Smithwick's Red Ale from Ireland. These are a little harder to find. You can find the Smithwick's Irish Ale, but the Red Ale is a little tough to find. When I went to Total Wine, they only had 5 cans. I bought them all. But it was a good adventure today. Hard in places. Other places it wasn't so bad. It wasn't quite the bushwhack that I anticipated. It was open enough country to pick your way through. You could find a line through the cholla in the brush. And the only thing that was a little disappointment was I was hoping to get to Bonny, to the Bonny benchmark on top of Bonny Peak, and there's just no way for me to do it. I mean, I'm sure people do it. I mean, there's rock climbers and people that drop their packs and they scramble up these cracks and they, precariously balance themselves up there in a 40-mile-an-hour wind. And going by myself, it's not worth the risk, you know what I mean? But sun is out nice here. It's perfect weather. It's probably, I'm going to say 60. And that breeze is a good 10, 15 mile an hour constant with gusts to 20 to 30, maybe even 40 on some of those upper boulders, man. I even with a chin strap on this boonie hat, I had to hang on to it. But had some good views. It's a little hazy out toward Borrego Palm Canyon and Borrego Springs, just because of the wind and all the dust. But up here it's nice. And the guy that was parked over there that was taking the hiking and riding trail, he's still gone. So I don't know where he went. Somewhere up the trail. I don't even know where that trail is from here. Maybe it crosses the street and heads down toward Hill Hole Canyon. I don't know. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was a little different. It wasn't on a marked trail. It wasn't something you would probably do. It had its scenic moments. I mean, Chimney Rock was pretty cool, I gotta admit. It looks a lot neater in person than you could see on a camera, but and I said I wasn't going to do it, but I did climb over the barbed wire fence just to go 100 feet on the other side just to get another angle of Chimney Rock. And I was surprised because when I went over the top and down, there was a flat pad off that little access path. So I think that's actually, somebody must have graded that for a house, maybe? I don't know. It'd be one hell of a drive to get there, but you know, if you want to live in a remote backcountry area, that's about as remote and backcountry as you're going to get up here. Well, anyway, don't forget to click and subscribe and hit that like button. The YouTube algorithms love when you do that. And I don't know what's going to be on my next adventure. I still have to do Annie's Canyon, and I have to do the Caldera Volcano. After sitting through this traffic, coming out here again, this might be the last time I'll come out here for a while. Or if I do come out here, it'll be at 5 in the morning before the Caltrans crew starts closing lanes. Anyway, I'm going to take a 15-minute break here and then start heading home. All right, well, I'm just pulling off the Jasper Trail. You have to be careful because there's a hill right here and you really don't have that great a view. You only get about 3 seconds from the time they crest that hill to the time they hit the Jasper turnoff. So, but anyway, it was a good hike. It was a windy hike, and believe it or not, my car thermometer still says 47 degrees. I don't think it's that cold. But as I'm coming over the hill here, this is basically where I started, just to the right, and this is where Anza Borrego officially ends, and it becomes Ranchita. But the marine layer's definitely worked its way in. It's not quite all the way to me, but you can definitely see the carpet overlooking Palomar Mountain. Like here's the Anza Borrego Desert sign right there. But anyway, it was a good hike. I was planning on stopping at Ranchita Market here because I wanted to show you something, but I don't know, we'll see when we get there. It might even be closed. Looked like it was under construction. Maybe they had a fire. Who knows? I still might pull over and look. One thing I want to show you, the Bigfoot. The Ranchita Bigfoot. Off, they still have it's boarded up. Actually, got the gate closed. They actually still have the Bigfoot. I'll still stop here. Wonder what's going on. Let's go check it out. Well, this is the famous Ranchita Bigfoot. It's at the Ranchita Market out here in Ranchita, not too far from border of Anza Borrego Desert State Park. And there's a reason there's a Bigfoot here. There was actually a sighting years back. It made the internet, went viral. Alright, well that was the famous Ranchita Bigfoot. There's a vehicle coming, so I'll have to wait. I don't know what they're doing here. They've got these little blue buildings set up, and they've got construction fence. I don't know if they're expanding or they went out of business. I don't really know. But anyway, it is pretty up here in Ranchita. And it turned out to be a gorgeous day. It's only 51. And I think that actually is the temperature because it was 47 where I was parked, and it hasn't, I've been driving for 10 minutes and the thermometer hasn't changed, so. Anyway, it was a good day for a hike. It was brisk, it was windy, but it was nonetheless a good adventure. smell is a bunch of goats. Surprised they don't do that more often. Hire goats as lawnmowers, yard maintenance. Well, anyway, hope you enjoyed this adventure. I did. It was a little better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it'd be a bushwhack, I'd be miserable, I'd be tired, I'd be stuck and bleeding, and it wasn't too bad. Don't know if I'd do it again, but you never know. Well, anyway, I'll see you down the trail. Be sure and click on that video so you can find out about the Ranchita Bigfoot. Don't know if you believe in Bigfoot or not, but, you know, watch the video, see what you think. Anyway, take care. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Well, what'd you think about this episode of my adventure out to Chimney Rock? You know, I was a little bummed I couldn't get up at the top of the Bonny benchmark. That definitely is going to take some scrambling. And like I said in the video, it's nothing I want to do when I'm solo. So maybe I could try to rustle up somebody else to go with me again. But it wasn't as bad as I thought. And now I know the layout of the land. I know the route that I would take. I would definitely not go to the right of Bonny. I would go to the left of Bonny. I would stay in the wash, work my way up and over, and just to the right side of the Chimney Rock. And then from there, the route up to the top where the Chimney benchmark is didn't look that bad. It's a ways and it's got some incline, but it didn't look that bad. And from the top of there, you got an awesome view looking straight down onto Hellhole Canyon in Anza Borrego. The area that I went to that I thought was Hellhole Canyon was actually a side canyon. It was called South Hellhole Canyon. But it looks like, from looking at the 3D imagery on my topographic map software and aerial views from Google Earth, if I would have went to that next peak, I would have had a tremendous view looking right down on Borrego Springs and Hellhole Canyon. So that's really piqued my interest. And now that I know how to get there and I know where to park, it'd be a lot easier, it'd be a lot quicker. And then next time I go, I'm not going to sit in that traffic. That's 2 times in a row now I've sat in that traffic. It ain't going to happen again. So I'm going to leave, you know, dark 30 and get there before they set up for their construction. Also, I won't have to worry about time so much. I was a little crunched for time, and I was a little worried about how long it would take me. But the only problem is I've looked at the calendar, and I'm full. You know, you think being retired you'd have all this time, and you kind of don't. Between medical appointments for my shoulder and, you know, things going on, you know, that we have appointments for. I'm also right in the middle of the training for the High Point Lookout. Coming up in a couple of days, I have my first N-Tower training. I've already completed all of the classroom stuff. All I have left is one short little training class on how to use the emergency fire shelter. That's coming up this weekend as well, next weekend. And also with the Tockwitz Peak Fire Lookout and Black Mountains opening up the end of May in about a month. And then before that, I've got my trip to Yosemite with Dave and Jerry, which I'm really looking forward to. And my sister's coming out for a couple of days from Utah. So I got so much stuff going on. I'm probably not going to get a chance to go back out to Anza Borrego, which I'm kind of bummed about. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Backcountry Trails. And hopefully you're getting a little familiar with the name change. I know it's a little different. Hopefully, you know, who knows? Maybe I'll change it again in the future. But for right now, I'm going to hang on to Backcountry Trails. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and tell your friends about the channel. And maybe I'll see you on the trail. Alrighty, take care. Bye-bye.